Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Connecticut Coalition to End Homelessness 18th Annual Training Institute and Conference Member Spotlight. We've had a great conference so far with over 1,000 people registered, and it's been so exciting to see people from across the state and even around the country come together to learn what we're doing to end homelessness in Connecticut and bring best practices to the state and help us all learn from each other. Today, I'm pleased to present to you our first 4 member spotlights. We'll be starting each morning with a member spotlight of a provider agency. And today, we're thrilled that we have New Opportunities Shelter Now here today with us. And so it's going to be a really wonderful tour, and we're grateful to them for bringing us inside. A few words about this conference. We called this conference Housing Equals Justice, and this conference is exploring issues of criminal justice, racial justice, and economic justice as they relate to homelessness. We're also taking a good look at COVID as it relates to homelessness and a lot of other big issues in the field. So if you haven't checked out all the different sessions, please do, and please do spread the word to others who might be interested. And with that, wanted to just give you a few. We've had some demand for hashtags. So our hashtags are ATI 2020, Housing Equals Justice, and End Homelessness. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And please spread the word that housing equals justice and encourage people to join for the rest of the week. We'll be here all week, 9 to 5 until 5 o'clock on Friday. And thank you, of course, to our sponsors, Bank of America and Zillow, who are making this whole conference possible and free of charge to all of you. So thanks to our sponsors. We couldn't do it without you. So with that, I want to turn this over to our CEO, Richard Cho, who's going to say a few words about our board member, David Dudley, who we are remembering today.
Great, thank you, Madeline, and good morning to everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. It's really my honor here to just take a few moments to remember David Dudley, who was the director of New Opportunity Shelter Now, which we'll get a tour of in just a moment, but also a board member of CCEH. I wanted to just share a few remembrances of David. I met him in December, actually, of 2 years ago when I first began at CCEH. In fact, actually, our first interaction was at a bar, and we were both invited within the city of Meriden, where David worked and where Shelter Now is located, to attend a town hall of sorts, where we were asked to speak to a bunch of concerned citizens at a bar in Meriden about the state of homelessness. And I was just about a month into my role here at CCEH, and I had to follow David Dudley. And so David gets up in front of this room and he starts to talk about the work of ending homelessness, and he begins to speak to a crowd of people who were interested but didn't know a lot about homelessness, and he explained to them about the national effort to end homelessness, the focus on housing first, and the way that we've retooled our homeless response system to focus not on just helping alleviate the crisis of homelessness for people who are experiencing, but really about how to get them connected to housing as quickly as possible. And literally, I was a month into the job and could not follow David Dudley. I thought there's nothing else I can add to this, and so just thought David was an incredible leader. A few months later, as we had some openings on our board of directors, I actually asked David if I could have a longer conversation, and I happened to visit with him at Shelter Now. And we spoke for, I think, a few hours that afternoon in his office about homelessness. And what struck me about David was, we talk a lot about housing. We talk a lot about things like rapid rehousing, about system flow. And for David, while all those things were important, homelessness for him was all about the people. And that's really what struck me about David, was how much for him ending homelessness was not an abstract concept. It wasn't about policies. It wasn't about systems flow. It wasn't about data points. It was really ultimately about the people. And he talked to me most passionately about the idea that we need to really address the underlying causes of homelessness. And for him, he saw that as poverty. He saw that as inequality. And I saw David as a true warrior for justice. And so it's with a heavy heart that we had to say goodbye to David unexpectedly in June. And it left a big hole, I know, not only at New Opportunities and within Shelter Now and also within MMW, or even on our board of directors, but really within our whole field, because I think David brought a unique perspective and heart to this work that I think cannot be matched. You know, in my work day to day, the last few months have been incredibly hard, and there have been many moments where I've just felt that, you know, just exhausted by the stress of it all. And when I get to those moments, I think, you know, David would never have given up. He dedicated his whole life and all of his energy to the work of assisting people experiencing homelessness, and that keeps me going. So with that, I want to just note, you know, David will be sorely missed. Was a huge hero and inspiration to me and to so many. I'm really honored to be able to have this tour be done in remembrance of David Dudley, who I know the shelter will be renamed in his honor. I also wanted to say quickly that Shelter Now also has a special place in my heart. It was the first place that I conducted the point in time count in my role at CCEH. It's the place where David and I had that long conversation. It's a place that I've gone to visit on several occasions, and I think the work that's been done to update it is a true testament and I think a tribute to David's memory. So again, I want to just remember David. Want to send our condolences again to his family, his wife and daughters, and his extended family, and everyone who worked at New Opportunities and Shelter Now. And so I'm really pleased here to remember David and to turn this over to Nichelle Hilton from New Opportunities, who will give us a tour of the improvements that are being made at Shelter Now in honor of David Dudley. So Nichelle, please take it away.
Let me just give a background. This is Shelter Now, an entity of New Opportunities. New Opportunities is a community action agency serving about 27 towns in a variety of social service programs and assisting people in need. This is Shelter Now. This is the old door that we used to come in. As you can see, we're under construction. And I just want to get a glimpse of the sink that Mr. Dudley made by himself during COVID. When COVID first hit, he stayed here on a Saturday all day, and he made this sink from scratch. It was for us in the shelter guests to wash our hands before going into the shelter. And he made this himself. And I just wanted to show everybody what he did. And we were so mad at him that day because it was cold and he stayed out here all day, and it was on a Saturday, something that he always did. He worked very hard. So I'm going to take you onto the shelter. We're still under renovation, so, you know, you're going to see things that's a little crazy in here. But I just want to give, right here is the new entrance of the shelter. As you can see, we have this board here, and that will be the name. That will be where the signage is for the shelter. We're changing the shelter name to David J. Dudley New Beginnings Emergency Shelter and Hospitality Center. So that will be where the sign will go. This is the entrance, and I'm about to bring you on in. So this is the new walkthrough. This is the new entrance of the shelter. As you can see, they installed the glass right here, and then we can actually buzz people in as of now. This is the new monitor station, and it's still under construction, as you can see. This is the old dormitory for the men. This is where the men used to sleep, 26 men, and now it's our common area. This will be the common area right here, our seating area, and this will be the cafeteria. Over here, we will have the computer stations. We will have 3 computer stations for the shelter guests to look for employment and to do any type of research and have computer access. Over here is Ms. Tanya's office. the monitor station, and the kitchen is back that way. I want to explain about the colors here. Mr. Dudley put his thought and heart into the shelter, and even with the color scheme, he thought it was very thought out and planned. As you can see in the monitor station, he has yellow, and he said yellow means luminous, happiness, enlightenment, and creativity. Over here, you will see green, and you will see green upstairs as well as when I take you onto the second floor. Green meant balance, harmony, growth, soothe, and renewal. So he really put his heart into this shelter. I just want to show you how before we weren't allowed to have elevator access from inside the shelter. He made that possible. We used to have to go outside to get into the elevator, to go to the elevator. So now we can walk through the shelter and go into the elevator, because now we have access to just walk through and go up the stairs, which is amazing. I'm gonna introduce you to a staff that's been here for more than 14 years, and I'm gonna let her introduce herself.
Hello, hi, my name is Tanya Taylor, and I'm the Program Support Specialist Supervisor, and I've been here going on 14 years, and I love working with the homeless population, and it's my passion. That's why I'm still here.
Thank you, Ms. Taylor.
You're welcome.
So here's the tour. Let us begin. And also, by having that elevator inside, the shelter is now ADA compliant throughout, and we're equipped to serve the LGBTQ community and the youth population, so that's great. Right here is the first floor. It's still being worked on. This is the bathroom for outside guests. So say if someone wants to take a shower that's not a shelter guest, we have that access now. They can come in and take a shower. And even if we have donations to give them a change of clothes, we will do that as well. Mr. Dudley made sure we had the new shower systems and the new showers for outside guests. This right here is the new pantry. It's still being worked on, as you can see. This used to be the main common area. As you can see, it's very, very small. So to have that big space down there is amazing. This is the pantry. It's still being worked on, and it's going to lead into our new kitchen. And this used to be where we come in at. That's going to be closed down, and this is the new pantry area. So we're about to go upstairs to the second floor to the single men and single females. We're about to go upstairs to the second floor. Hold tight. Let me just make sure no one is, okay. So this is the second floor. This is the men's dorm. And I will take you to the other side to the single female dorm. So this is, I just wanted to show you a sleeping quarters at the shelter. Let me catch my breath. So this is the rooms. Right now, everyone had their own room individually because of COVID, but when COVID is over, they will share a room. And that's amazing because you go from 26 men being in a dorm in an open space with now they have their own privacy. So this is the men's side. Oh, and every floor has a seating area where they can come out and sit and watch TV. So I'm just going to take you down the hall. This is the laundry area. Each floor has and unit have their own laundry facilities. This is the new bathroom. And we make sure we clean the shelter. The guests do tours. They clean the shelter. We want to keep it A1 for Mr. Dudley. He worked so hard for this, so we want to make sure it's always in A1 condition. So I'm going to take you over to the women's side, and this is the elevator. So now we have access to the elevator. We don't have to really walk up the stairs anymore. This is the women's dorm. And I just want to give a little, as I walk through the shelter, you'll see positive quotes. Dreams don't work unless you do. Mr. Dudley wanted that. And I'm happy that he let me know, and I know his vision, and we talked about it for months. He wanted positive energy in the shelter, so this is why you'll see little positive quotes along the walls and pictures. He even wanted to play positive music, but we were like, no, Mr. Dudley, no one wants to hear music all day. But that's what the type of person he was. This is the laundry facility for the single female side. So then I'm going to take you to the 3rd floor. And this is the office of the housing navigator. Her office is here on the 2nd floor. That way, the gentleman can have access to her at all times. So I'm going to take you upstairs to the 3rd floor. As you can see, as we enter the 3rd floor, Mr. Dudley's office was on the 3rd floor, and we just have a little memory board of him. So I'm going to take you to the family side. And as you can see, it's like a lavender purple. Purple meaning power, ambition, creativity, wisdom. And that's something that Mr. Dudley, for months, like he even drew the blueprints of the shelter, never went to school for it. That's the type of person he was. So this is the family section. This is their sitting area. Right now we have like caution on some of the chairs because of COVID. We really can't have so many people sitting out here. So this is the family's kitchen. It's still being worked on right here. We still have to do some stuff over here, but this is where the family sit and eat. And he took his time thinking about the counter cover, color. I mean, he really put his thoughts into the shelter big time. On the family floor, we have 4 bathrooms. And this is something that Mr. Dudley was very big on, and he wanted this. Being that we serve families and children, he always thought about the minor children having a bath. So he made sure that we got a tub so that the kids can, have a bubble bath or sit down in the tub. He always thought about that. He always was thinking about people. This is another part of the shelter. We have 2 family sides, like I said before. This is another sitting area. That's their laundry facility right there. Right now, we have the playroom closed down because of COVID, but this is the new play area for the children. I'm trying to make you see without the light. The light's supposed to come on. Okay, a little better. So this is the new area for the children to come and play. Then also, like I said, you'll see all the positive, inspirational things. Dream big. This is just the other side. We serve 8 families on this floor right now. Due to COVID, we're only serving 4. And also, this little room that I forgot to show, this will be a computer room for the children. For the minor children, we have to get computers in there, a computer lab, so that they can do their schoolwork when this is all complete. So this is the family room, the family floor, rather. And I just want to show a little backdrop on where we came from. Whoever been in the shelter, this transformation is amazing. This was the old dorm where the single females used to stay. Right now we have it as storage, but I just wanted to show just how far we came from with the renovations. This area right here was where the females slept, 10 of them, and sometimes it could be 14. So this was a small room when you think about it, an open space. So now they share that. Now they have their own individual rooms where they share 2 people per room, which is amazing. They shared this bathroom. So these renovations and Mr. Dudley's plan, I mean, it's out of this world. We're so excited and we're happy because he fought hard for this. He worked every day and every night. The shelter was on his mind. And I just want to just to talk about him for a second, because this is hard for me, very hard. So I just want to give a little backdrop on Mr. Dudley. He was a great man, and he is so missed in this shelter, and I promised that I wouldn't cry. I watched him sleep here for 2 weeks because of COVID, and he didn't want to bring it home to his family. And he slept here on this floor with just pillows and blankets. And he didn't go home for the safety of his family because he didn't know if he was exposed due to one of our guests being sick, and we didn't know COVID just hit. So we didn't really know what was COVID. So he laid on his floor for 2 weeks, just sleeping here, and he was away from his family. So during this COVID time, we were all stressed out, but he was so stressed out. Mr. Dudley was a brilliant man. He was my mentor. He was more than a boss. He was everything to this shelter. Shelter now is Mr. Dudley. So I'm just honored and proud that it gives me some type of peace that I'm leading his legacy and his vision, and I'm just happy that I was a part of this and a part of knowing what he wanted, and I can tell everyone. We had conversations for months and months about the shelter and where he wanted it to go, and the vision of the shelter. This is his legacy. The shelter was his life. Every day when he didn't even go home, sometimes he didn't take vacation at all. It would be times where he'll say he's on vacation for 2 weeks, and then you come to work and you see him sitting right here. And we always used to say, Mr. Dudley, go home, take vacation. And he used to say, no, I can't. It's something that has to be done. It's something that has to be done. He worked so hard for this. He was a compassionate person. He didn't see the shelter. He didn't see the shelter guests as homeless people. No, he seen them as human beings. He respected everyone. We used to call him the gentle giant. He's so big and he's intimidating, but his heart is so pure and soft. And the compassion and the drive that he had for this shelter and the people that we served, it was bigger than just a job. It wasn't a career. This was his dedication. He was dedicated to this place. He was dedicated to the people we served. He was dedicated to Meriden. He was dedicated to our staff. It's nothing that he would help me with our staff. He was just an amazing person and brilliant and intelligent. His thinking was it's like no other. The way I would think about something and talk to him about it and research, he would give me it in another angle. He taught me, he pushed us here. Where do you want to be? What do you want to do in your career? He helped us with our children. He helped us. He is so missed here. And I'm just happy that from where the shelter was before to where it's going now, I'm going to make sure that happens because I owe it to him. The staff, we're here, we're excited, we're still mourning the death of Mr. Dudley because it's hard not seeing him here. And just to keep coming here every day, and he's not here. When he passed away, it was very traumatic. Our backbone was gone, the person that we went to for everything. So now I used to always say to him, oh, Mr. Dudley, I don't want your job. No, you do too much. And here I am, have his job and doing too much. And I do it with grace and I do it with passion. I'm going to make sure this shelter is the way he wanted it to be, because this is his legacy and his vision. So I'm just proud that they changed the name, and I'm just happy about the renovations and where we're going to take this shelter. There's a lot of things that's changing here as far as with programming to help the people we serve, and I'm going to do it with the passion and the compassion that Mr. Dudley was as a person. So that's all I have to say. This is just too emotional for me.
That was wonderful, Nichelle. Thank you so much for that tour of the shelter and the tribute to Mr. Dudley. We all miss him, and hearing you speak about him was incredibly powerful. So thank you for taking the time this morning. So, Richard, Richard, would you like to close us out today? Or Ryan?
Sure. Oh, yeah. First of all, Nichelle, thank you so much for that tribute. I think we expected get to see a tour of the facility, but you know, I think it's just really striking to me, Nichelle. Like we walk through, and as you said, shelter now is Mr. Dudley, and you can see that in the colors, in the decorations, in the amenities, and the thoughtfulness. And I first of all, just huge thank you to you. Our condolences again for your loss, and I get, you know, I guess the nice thing is that you get to work there and see David in all of the walls, in all the furniture, and in the thoughtfulness of the renovation. So good luck with the renovations. Good luck with everything going forward. And of course, as you know, CCEH, we're always here for you. So definitely reach out. I said that to Bill. I said that to Felicity and others at New Opportunities. Just, you know, we're always here to assist. So please don't hesitate if you need anything. But thank you so much for that. You set a high bar for the other member showcases that we're doing this week, Nichelle. So thank you so much for that. So a great way to start off our second day of our Housing Equals Justice conference. I think up next we have a number of sessions focused on youth and family homelessness. I think we'll pull up the screen in just a second. We have a really exciting lunchtime plenary today, talking about what we're seeing in the broader housing market. As we know, we're facing some of the worst conditions possible with regard to homelessness and housing crisis. And so our lunchtime plenary will speak to, from Zillow's research, what we're seeing in terms of trends in the housing market and what that means for homelessness. We'll also hear from two national experts and advocates who are going to talk about what we could do at the federal level to really have a game-changing level of rental assistance to address what we're seeing as a coming storm of housing needs in our state and our whole country. But up next right now is a session on youth homelessness, and I'm really looking forward to that as well. So please join us. You can log off this and join the next webinar link. And again, just keep following us on social media too. We are tweeting, and we're sharing some of these sessions on Facebook and other social media. So please do that. But again, thank you for joining this session, and look forward to seeing you in the next few sessions today. Thanks so much.